Hey guys, this is OddOneGaming and today's video is sponsored by Dragonheir Silent Gods. Dragonheir is an amazing high fantasy RPG game that I've been in love with for quite a while. I've been playing this like a maniac for the past year, and it's a really cool game. It has some amazing mechanics, it has some great graphics, it even has some some D&D mechanics such as the dice roll, tabletop, and all that cool stuff. It also has a really good story. So if you want to start playing this game today, I suggest you there's a link in the description and in the pinned comment of this video that you can click and start downloading the game today, and you can play it on all of the devices. It's on Android devices, on iOS devices, it's even on Mac, and it's in the Epic Games Store, it's on Steam, it's basically everywhere. And part of the cool stuff that they are doing is they do have some collaborations that they are doing with the actual Dungeons and Dragons IP. So as an example, the first installment of their collaboration was when they introduced Drizzt Do'Urden as part of the game. I grabbed myself a few copies of him. We have over here, as you can see, Drizzt and Guinevere as part of this one. So this was the first installment where we had Ertu, the Baylor, as the antagonist. You can see that whole thing. It's not in the game anymore. That was in the past, but you can see I have videos on my channel that I show the battles, the story, and all that cool stuff. And now we have the second installment of that collaboration, which is called the Echoes of the Sleepless, where we have I cannot think, what's his name? Oh my god. Brain fart. Elminster. Elminster Omar is joining the game, and as part of this one there's quite a few cool challenges. There's still 3 days, but I think if you start like later, you still have this available for quite a while, so you can grab yourself Elminster. There's some fun challenges over here that I'm gonna do as part of a video. I'm gonna do all of them in one single video. Then there's obviously gonna be summoning that you can do, the planar summoning, where you can specifically pull to get copies of him, or actually you get chess pieces if you don't get lucky enough to pull an actual copy. And every 240 of these Sage chess pieces will grant you a copy of Elminster, so you can get him to like fully inspired. But also they also have the battle against the antagonist, which is going to be the semester battle. You can do this every single day, and they keep dropping you some amazing rewards, chess pieces, war motto, some summons. So definitely worth doing this, and I suggest you start doing today. And I guess as part of that, I want to show you today a really fun team that I'm using to fight the endgame boss of Season 2, the Mekkatorque. And basically this one has like 2 difficulties. Okay, the first difficulty is easier. That's the difficulty that we have up until we hit the 50% of damage dealt globally, and then after you pass 50%, the boss's skill change. I'm not going to go through all of this one. I'm going to make a dedicated video on like a small guide about this one, what I suggest to use, going through his kit and whatnot. But for today, I want to show you a team that I came up with that's a pretty fun one, that's using Elminster as kind of like, he's the key component in here because he's such an amazing support alongside the artifact that we have, still part of the exclusive event. So you can only get this one now, and then that's it. I'm not sure if they're gonna reintroduce it in the future, but this artifact is just amazing for people that do shields. So the main event of this fight is gonna be Elminster Omar bringing us that amazing support. He brings us shield, he brings us control immunity, he brings us attack penalty, accuracy penalty, an interesting passive, and also an aura if you want to use this aura. So the team that I'm using is actually a team that focuses on Necro as damage, okay? So if you're playing Season 2, Fire and Necrosis are the element pairings. As you can see over here, we have Fire plus Necrosis, Ice and Radiant, and then there's Lightning and Poison. So obviously you want to try and always get in these fights the 5 element affinity to get all the bonuses from here to maximize your damage. So the team that I'm using, like I said, is Elminster as the main person. Then I'm using Rippercast, which Rippercast can be somebody else, but I really like him because he has 5 debuffs that he can place. He has a triple hitter on his ultimate, and he also is a good candidate for the Witch's Remains, okay? Then we have Gladros. The reason I'm using him is because he brings shields on his ultimate, but at the same time, when his shields are up, he also grants you debuff immunity, which for the second phase, like I mentioned, of this fight, he's going to be able to block the attack penalty, okay? Ranged people will get hit with attack penalty, so you want to block that because my 2 DPS, Zarloth and Zadok, are both ranged, so obviously they will not be getting that attack penalty. I'm trying to get that one blocked. Now let's have a look at the skill timing. The fun thing about this team is it actually goes full auto, okay? It's full auto, and it hits 200 mil or, close to 200 million, depending on the RNG, the gear that you have, and whatnot. But the way that I have my people set up are like this. Zarloth goes at 12.5, then at 30. So you're going to see that everybody will do this skill casting interval every 30 seconds because you want their ultimates to land at the precise time. So Zarloth 12.5, I just built him full damage. Didn't really care about his accuracy for the fear and everything else, just I want him to do damage and to heal because he also heals on this one based off of his attack. Then Elminster goes at 20.5, okay, to land that attack penalty every 30 seconds. If you do it like this, he's basically going to cover 3 hits, including the ultimate that hits the hardest. So that's why he goes at that one. Then Gladros, I've been going at 36 because I want him to go full rotation and basically do his shields just before that attack penalty happens, which is at the beginning of the fight. Then Zadok at 13 seconds. Like Zadok and Zarloth can both be at any time after Rippicast goes because they're just going to be doing the damage. And then Rippicast, he goes first at 12 seconds. I think this one could be 11.5 because you're waiting for those magic projectiles to land so that he can land the defense penalty and all the other debuffs. But let's have a little bit of a look how this one goes. I'm not going to keep you through the whole of the fight. I'm just going to start this fight. Then we're going to come at the end. I'm going to show you the damage. You can see he goes, he does that. Then we have Zarloth doing the damage. Then we have Zadok doing the damage. And as you can see, the damage is going to be ramping up pretty quickly. There you go. Elminster lands the attack penalty. So we covered 1 hit. We covered the second hit with attack penalty, and then it's still there. When the ultimate happens, we are still covered with that attack penalty. So the 20.5 seconds initial time and then doing it every 30 seconds on Elminster is just perfect. It's just amazing because, like I said, he covers us with that attack penalty for most of the fight, and that's just perfect. Honestly, the best thing about his kit is actually that battle skill. You can see that basically almost all the time we have that shield. He's gonna go battle skill, boom. He brings us that shield, he brings us that control immunity, and that means we're not gonna be getting as much damage. We're gonna have enough survivability that we should be able to survive most of the fight. There we go, shields back up. So him basically with a little bit of skill haste and also with that legendary artifact that we can get as part of the event, he can provide a ton of survivability with those shields. It's just amazing. It's I'm sorry. I underrated him. When I first saw his kit, I felt like, yeah, he's not that good. He could be better. There could be some improvements, but you know what? He's actually pretty good. I don't really think the only thing that maybe could make him a little bit better, like obviously without trying to make him overpowered, would be that passive to be changed a bit, because right now the passive says that for every debuff that the person that you're fighting has, he gains a stack of resistance. You see that 10. So that one just keeps going up, down. So that can be a bit quirky. Okay, it seems like we did have a little bit of a, bad RNG where we did not have the control on. So that means that Elminster got a stun, but we should still be fine. He should still come back to his attack penalty in time. You're mostly interested to cover the ultimate, okay? The ultimate is the one that hits the hardest. You want to cover it with Elminster at the right time. Like if that happens, like normally he would do it over here, okay? If that doesn't happen, you can just manual it, do it, and then every time he should come back and basically land it around at the same time in case a little bit of that bad RNG happens. But as you can see, the damage is ramping up. It's looking pretty good. And it should still go. Higher because the people are going to be ramping up damage as the fight goes on. Because of that misstep, by landing all the debuffs, you're just going to keep doing more and more damage. Plus, Zadok, he keeps gaining stacks. You see, he has that 15 stacks. Every time a summon dies, he gains more attack, okay? So because of that, he's just going to keep gaining more and more attack, and that one goes up to 20 or 30 stacks, I think, which is going to make the damage ramp up a ton. But what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to stop this fight over here. I'm just going to show you, because I already made a screenshot, so I can show you the builds. I'm going to show you the damage that this fight actually did. Like I said, it was full auto, and this was the damage, 200 million. After 200 million, you deal 90% less damage, which means you only do 10% of the normal damage you should do, but that was still good. Considering it was full auto, it's just perfect. You can obviously manual this fight if you want to. So after the magic projectiles land and Rippicast does his ultimate, okay, this one just, it seems, had some bad RNG, but this can happen. You can have some bad RNG, just rerun it, and this should be just fine. Considering that it works full auto and does that damage, it's just perfect. But what you can do, like I said, let me show you for a second. If you want to min-max it, if you want to optimize to get the best amount of damage that you can get, is you manual him, because if you let him go full auto, he's just going to cast it like this on the boss. You want to hit the projectile as much as you can, okay? Because you're going to be doing more damage to the projectiles than you actually do to the boss himself, because of the lower defense that the projectiles actually have. So let's back out and let me show you just the builds that I have on the people, because some of them are pretty straightforward, pretty obvious. So like I said, Zarloth just full damage. I actually do have a little bit of accuracy. Maybe I should just remove this one from him, because I don't have that much accuracy. Don't really care about his debuffs. The fear can help, but I think it's bugged right now, because basically every time you land the fear, the boss does less damage. So he's mostly crit rate, crit damage, and I focused as much damage as I could on him. Then Zadok, same principle, just damage. He has the Ravatrix's roots. This is just amazing for him or for Zarloth, because it gives you a ton of attack and HP. And then again, damage set with crit damage, crit rate, decent attack. And you basically want to get on them, honestly, for this fight, Emperor's Might. This is the best set against this fight, because those magic projectiles, those balls, basically have really low attack, okay? So the lower attack they have, the more damage you're going to do, because of the effect of the 3 set piece. Then we have Ripakas in there. Like I said, he's in protection, ancestral protection set. Obviously, soak up some of the damage from all the other squishy ones. I tried to give him a little bit of crit rate, but then accuracy with Witch's Remains. You obviously want that defense penalty. If you don't have Witch's Remains, the damage is going to be a lot lower. I'm not going to lie, but that's how it is. This one can land AoE, whereas the crown can only land on one target. Then we have Gladros. Like I said, he's in there basically for the shields, and for this one, I focused as much attack as I could, because the shields are based off of attack and his max HP. So do a combination of both, but it scales better off of attack, okay? That's why I gave him just lucky playing cards. He doesn't even hit, he doesn't gain the benefit of this one, but he gets attack. So you're gonna just give him the artifact that gives him the most attack. So as an example, if you see that you're not surviving enough, and you have the roots, you can give this one to Gladros, because it gives him attack, it gives him HP from this one and from this side, and this one's doubled because he's an epic, so he's gonna get 30% attack, 30% extra HP. So that might be something I should maybe test. And then the man of the hour, Elminster Omar, he is, like I said, in the exclusive artifact that increases the value of the shields that he grants, plus it extends the durations, okay? So this one's just amazing for his battle skill. Like, as you can see, I already have it at 9.1 seconds. Every time he casts it, it's on for 5 seconds, plus the extension. Like I said, most of the time you should have this one on. He also brings attack penalty, so I basically gave him enough accuracy so he can land especially his attack penalty, and then as much enlightenment as I could. Like, it's a little bit lower, because I tried to also give him some HP so that he heals, because he's in the Mona Lisa set. So every time he does his ultimate, he's gonna heal whoever has the lowest HP based off of his max HP. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. This team is really fun. I'm really happy that I managed to actually make this team work, because I tried this with Burn, but because I don't have a good enough Burn heroes, I can only have the epics or below, I could only do with this team something like 120, 130 million after it passed the 50%. But now, with Zarloth and Zadok as my DPS, I'm doing 200 million, and that's, it's pretty amazing, especially because it works on full auto like I showed you. But I think we're gonna leave it at this for today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you Dragonheir Silent for sponsoring this video. And if you guys have not started playing this game yet, what are you waiting for? There's a link in the description and in the pinned comment of this video that you can click and start downloading the game today if you want to try it out, or if you like me, if you want to support me, just click that one, download it. It's available on Android devices, on iOS devices, it's even on Mac, it's on the Epic Game Store, it's on Steam, it's everywhere. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'm gonna see you in the next video. Peace, love, take care everyone. Bye guys.